Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 9 of the September daily draws. Let's see what message we get today, and I'll be taking the first card from the Mystic Palette Tarot Muted Edition, followed by an Oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords, to me, this is about a journey. It could mean a literal journey, but because it's swords, to me, it's a journey of ideas. It's a journey of the mind. It's a journey of perspective, changing perspective, maybe getting our thinking into a different place. It can be physically relocating to a different place. It can be moving to another place. In some instances, of course, but it's more or less like a mental transition from perhaps confusion, turmoil, particularly in thoughts, confusion, difficult situations that you've been struggling to think about and get to grips with. And often it's about moving into calmer waters. So it's caused you some emotional turmoil, emotional sort of stirring. But now we're moving forward. We're moving away from that situation and into calmer waters where we can perhaps get a bit of mental peace, get a bit of rest in our mind, and maybe a bit of clarity. Maybe it's like the clouds are beginning to part, and we're seeing things a bit clearly. We've got the calmer emotions. Things are calming down as we're moving on in our minds from it, and it's important to move on. It's interesting, isn't it, that this comes after the Five of Swords, which is about knowing when to walk away, even if it means that you don't necessarily get the outcome or the so-called success that you are after. And now we have the Six of Swords, which is, you've walked away. Now you've got to move on in your mind. You've got to move on. You've got to move on to the next thing. That situation is no longer helpful for you. You've walked away for a reason. So you need to move away and get to a place of better, where you can think more clearly, where we can get a grip on the situation that we face, and perhaps get into part on our journey that's a bit more easier to navigate. So this is like we've had a bit of a difficult time now where we've had some complications that we've had to really struggle with in our minds. But now things are subsiding a bit or about to subside. But we have to choose to get in this boat, metaphorically, and move forward into calmer waters. We have to move away from the situation. If we stay in the situation, if we stay in the midst of it, or at least in our minds we're in it, even if the situation's no longer there, but if that's all we're thinking about all the time, we're still going to pick up on that turmoil and that sense that we had then. We have to move on from that, put that in the past and move on from that and move forward. And that's when, it's just similar to the Five of Cups situation, with the emotional stuff that you have to turn around and look at the cups that remain. You have to move. You need to shift your focus. The longer you stay staring at the spilled cups, I know this is that's a different card, but it's similar kind of principle here. That what I'm saying is that if we keep ourselves attached and focused on what went before, and what the situation was and how things went wrong and different, you keep playing it over in your mind, you won't get that peace and clarity that you need. You actually have to, in your thinking, move on from that onto the next thing and move away from that. And that's when you can perhaps gather your thoughts and get that clarity that you need. And that's what the Six of Swords is saying to us. It may be that we need to move on from whatever it was and put that behind us, learn the lessons from it, but it's in the past. Now we've got to move forward, get the clarity we need, move forward into those calmer waters, get that peace of mind and that calmness of emotion, and then we'll be better equipped to deal with what comes next. So that's what the Six of Swords is saying to us. But we have to choose to do that. We have to choose to get in the boat, as it were. We have to choose to move forward. If we choose to stay in that past situation, if only in our minds, we may not be physically in that situation anymore. But if we're tied to it in our minds, then we're not going anywhere until we get in the boat and, cast off and move forward, leaving that behind in the past and embracing the next step. That is where our clarity, that's where our peace and calmness will come from. And that's what the Six of Swords is saying to us today. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Toad. She's got a toad on her head. Head, the mind. What does that represent then? I'm not sure. But again, to me, it seems to be what's on our mind. Do we need to get the toad off it to feel the weight of it getting lifted? Who knows? That's just by the image. Let's see what it says at the bottom. Observe, for those who watch see all. Okay, that tells me nothing about the toad, but what I get from that is those who watch see all. So put your eyes forward and you'll see what you need to see. Don't put your eyes on the past. Take the weight off your mind. Maybe it's sitting there like a toad on your mind, or whatever situation you were in, and you need to remove that. That's what I'm getting from the image, and you need to move forward, and that you will, if you look carefully, you put where you put your focus, that's where you'll see clearly. You'll see all that you need to see if you put your eyes into the right direction, not into the past, but looking forward to moving away from that situation, both physically and in your mind. That's how you get the clarity you need, and that's how you'll get the calmness in your emotions too, and you'll have the clearer thinking. So that's what I get from those cards today. It'd be interesting. I will look at the book later about that. In fact, just very quickly, just to see if it says anything about the toad. But I think I've got the main message for it. I think that's what, to me, I'm seeing that as something on your mind that you want gone. Observe perfectly, right. So I don't know. It doesn't say. I can't see it. It doesn't stick out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's what I believe the message is. I'll be back tomorrow with day 10. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.